welcome to the Learning has Changed list. This is the web series where I get to tackle all of the things that I would like to learn how to change in education with a community of reflective practice vloggers in order to create an engine of authentic learning. Today I get to respond to a video by Steve Hazeu, I think is his last name, and he extended a metaphor that I created last week on learning paths. He had taken sort of this IKEA model that I was talking about and extended it to be about a nature trail, a summer job that he had when he was in university. And he put it this way.
And I couldn't help but be reminded of one of the best summer jobs I ever had. When I was in university, I was a park ranger / nature trail guide. But the point being for this analogy is that there's a beginning point, and it's of course also the end point. So you walk in a big circle. And then I started to loosen up a little bit, and instead of just control the tour myself, we'd get to a spot and I'd ask the kids questions, or I'd say, hey, so here we are, what do you see? And I would give over some of the control of this tour to the people that I was leading, if you will. Even though I walked this circle from beginning all the way back around to the end / beginning, I was constantly learning something different. And that wasn't as much about the content, of course, but about the people and about the willingness of those people to sort of share their expertise and their insight. If it becomes less about the content and more about the people, then the nature trail opens up and is far more about what the other people see and different perspectives and collaboration and shared ownership of the material.
Scott, I love the way that you have described the cyclical nature of learning here. That is the path I would want to go on. I would want to learn with you on this path. And I think you're describing something that we don't end up putting into practice very much when we're describing a learning path or when we're laying it out for someone. We end up thinking about a learning path as absolutely new for every single person that goes upon it. We think about it as new each time that a learner sort of traverses it. But it isn't. Learning is a cycle, and we cycle through our learning so many different times that we can pick up on traditions, that we can pick up on cues, and that learning can be a part of everything that we do. And I think if we are only thinking about learning as a singular, straightforward path, we miss out on those moments of seeing something again for the first time, of seeing that moment where we recognize something and where we can call upon it and say, I know what that thing is. Case in point is when a high school English teacher gets mad about a student who has already read a book, or a group of students, if they've all read a book that was a part of that curriculum. They already know the plot points and things like that, or they already did this special project that is like the pet project of that particular teacher. The fact that they already have done that means now that's no longer a powerful work for them. That's no longer something that they're going to be able to dive into deeply or be surprised by or something like that. But that's not true. And when we isolate and say that this learning path is only good one time, we are belittling how powerful learning can be in a cycle. We are belittling just how powerful it can be to see something from a new perspective, something that we have already seen, something we've already tackled, but to engage in it in a deeper way. To me, that's something that you are isolating, and that's something that I would like to change. If you'd like to help us to figure out how we can see this cycle and how we can remember the things that we have learned before and put them to our use and to see them in new ways, please leave a comment below or join the Google Plus community for reflective practice vlogging, which is in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to the conversation.